put themselves in a position to make the Final Four later on in the season.
Of course, we have the opportunity to see Loyola take on North Carolina, and we've seen Hopkins on many occasions. What's the major differences between these two ball clubs?
I think team speed-wise, North Carolina has a considerable advantage, although in the goal, I think Hopkins has an advantage. So it should be a contrast in styles. Carolina has dominated this series recently, but I think it'll be a great game.
All right, how do you look at the goaltending? Of course, a young goaltender for North Carolina going at it against somewhat of a veteran now, has 1 year under his belt in Marcus.
Well, Marcus has done a nice job lately. On the other hand, North Carolina has had problems in the cage this season. Rocco DeAndrea transferred from Rutgers. The last time he played on this field, he was in goal for Rutgers a couple years ago and gave up 18 goals in about 2 quarters. So his performance today is definite key for North Carolina.
Only 2 starters remain from last year's North Carolina team, and of course the offense looked rather tentative against Loyola, but since that time they've come back to win 3 in a row. What do they have to do against the Blue Jays today?
I think they've got to isolate the Wade brothers, Ryan Wade and Jason Wade, and I think they've got to ride the Hopkins clear and manufacture goals using their team speed and their athleticism.
Of course, when you say tentative, you could also refer to Johns Hopkins last week against Virginia offensively.
Well, Hopkins had a lot of success against Syracuse offensively because of the style that they play. And a week later against Virginia, that same offensive style was not successful. I think we'll see their attack control the ball more today. Reardon and Picola will isolate from behind the net.
Tony Seaman looking for his first victory against North Carolina, and we'll be back with an interview with Dave Klarman, the head coach of North Carolina. All that coming your way from Homewood Field in Baltimore, Maryland.
For the creators of the game, it was more than competition. It was a ritual of the spirit. For those who take the game seriously, there is only one place for sticks with custom designed and engineered pockets, protective equipment, team apparel, sportswear, custom clothing, and specialty items. Ullman Sports International. Visit our extensive showroom at 7 West Aylesbury Road in Timonium. We take the game seriously.
They're always working on something new.
That's why everyone who's serious about lacrosse plays with Sticks equipment.
My mother uses a stick.
With Sticks, you'll score more goals.
Probably 1,000, 100,000, million.
The people at Sticks know the sport.
The lacrosse players. Lacrosse players? I think my brother Paul worked at Sticks. Every goal he scored was Sticks. Sure do. Can't say any more about it.
Classic television. Hogan's Heroes.
Green Acres.
Arnold Zip. Who played him? Nobody. He was the pig. Remember Family Affair?
Mr. French.
I loved him. He's attractive.
Pete, Link, Jude. Okay, Ginger or Mary Ann?
Ginger was a bimbo.
Mary Ann. Mary Ann or Jeannie?
Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Jeannie.
Crisp, clean, classic.
Welcome back to Lacrosse 94. Quint Kesnick with Dave Klarman, head lacrosse coach at the University of North Carolina. Coach, early season you scheduled 4 very tough games, Syracuse, Loyola, and Princeton.
Well, that was our opening 3, and then just to make sure we had a good test early, we went ahead and got Dartmouth, Duke, and Maryland, and they had Princeton there. We had 4 Division I programs in a 7-day span, and on reflection, that probably wasn't the smartest thing I've done as a head coach. But we have come to find out a little more about who our team is this year. So I think in the long run it'll benefit us, but it was our 6 days campaign, and we won the home contest. We just weren't able to defeat the Princeton Tigers over there in Norfolk, Virginia.
Last season, North Carolina played for the national championship, lost with 8 seconds left, and you graduated a lot of seniors, including some excellent players. This year, the team's led by Ryan Wade, USA World Team member.
Yeah, that's always a pleasant memory, and I'm glad to keep bringing it up whenever I see you. Yeah, Ryan Wade's doing everything we'd hoped he could do. He's doing face-offs, playing good defense, getting goals, and surprisingly this year he's getting a lot of assists, and he's been a leader on and off the field, and we're very, very pleased with Ryan's performance to date.
Your teams are known for their hustle and their team defense and their riding ability. Hopkins in the past has had problems clearing the ball. What are the keys to today's game?
Well, we're going to try to ride Johns Hopkins as best as we can. I watched their improvement, though, from the beginning of the season to just now, and they're handling the ball much, much better on a shot clear. And that comes to, they had some new boys playing close defense, and I think now they've learned how to get the ball up and out and down the field with a lot less problems. But we're going to ride them. We're always going to try to hustle and play as hard as we can. We may not be the best stick handling team in the country, but we'll come after you and try and bring your game down to our level, which is ground balls. And if team defense wins it, I hope my guys are up to the challenge, because with Reardon and Piccola and Marr feeding these guys, I mean, that's a very, very potent attack. We got to get the ground ball to face off and keep Hopkins on defense for us to have success today.
Thanks, Coach Klarman. Good luck today. And we'll be back after these messages.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chicken. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up. Slice it up. Put a fork in them. They're done.
Gonna get in the game. Get in the game. Black's World, now open in Annapolis.
Welcome, everybody, to Homewood Field. We're talking with the head coach of Johns Hopkins University, Tony Seaman. Last week, Tony, we visited Virginia. What are your thoughts about that particular game?
Well, Virginia played very well and beat us. I thought we didn't shoot the ball as well as we had done the previous 2 weeks, and that's a big key to our offense, is that we've got this. If we get the spots to finish the ball, we've got to do that, and I don't think we did a good job at that last week.
Not since 1988 have the Blue Jays defeated North Carolina. What do the Blue Jays have to do today to turn the tables on Dave Klarman and the Tar Heels?
Well, we have to shoot well. Our defense has to keep improving, which I think it has done over the last course of the last 3 weeks. But I think we've got to shoot the ball. We really got to finish it and put it by the goalie and in the net. And that's going to dictate the whole pace of the game and how it goes for us, really.
The offense looked rather tentative against Virginia. Nobody went to the goal. They were doubling up on the wings, and no shots were fired from long range. Any changes that you foresee in the offensive pattern today?
Maybe try to go from the attack a little bit more and see if Reardon and Piccola can get the job done a little bit more directly against their defense. But you know, Virginia played well, and the kid Ireland made some big saves, and we hit a lot of pipes, and those things happen, so all of a sudden your offense doesn't look half as good, whereas the week before at Syracuse, everything we shot went in the goal.
Presents a lot of changes when you face North Carolina this year compared to last year, a lot of graduating seniors. What do you have in mind for the Tar Heels?
Well, they're a lot like us, Howard. I think they're very, very young and inexperienced, and as each week goes by, they're going to get better. Unfortunately, they had to start with a tough Syracuse game up in the Dome, and then a really good Princeton team, and you know, they've recovered from that. They've won their last 3 in a row, 3 out of 4. They're back. They need this game very much today. We need this game very much today. It's going to be a battle.
You're looking for settled situations or fast breaks, something we didn't see last week against the Cavaliers?
I think either way. You know, if we get a chance to run, we're definitely going to run. We're going to try to establish some tempo again and make our offense play well at the 6-on-6 half of the field. But if we get a chance to go, we're going to go.
Jude Collins going at it against Peter Jacobs. That's one of the areas that certainly has sparkled for Johns Hopkins University.
Yeah, we faced off well, but we're facing probably the second-best face-off team in the country, which is the Carolina boys. Both Ryan Wade and Jude Collins do a great job for them, and as well as does the Saunders kid. So they've got 3 kids, and they'll alternate them, and they all do a great job, and that's going to be a real question mark for us today.
Third-year head coach Tony Seaman, best of luck today, trying to beat North Carolina for the first time since your days back at University of Pennsylvania. And we'll be back to Homewood Field for all the action.
you're going to get in the game. Get in the game. Lax World, now open in Annapolis.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chicken. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up. Slice it up. Put a fork in them. They're done.
We love lacrosse! Because Lacrosse Magazine is a source for men's and women's lacrosse.
Because I still love the game so much.
Because every coach should be a member.
They make things happen.
This is awesome, man. Look at that check. I was at that game. Where was it? Magazine's cool.
Welcome back to Lacrosse 94. Quint Kesnick here with Billy Day, former goaltender at the University of North Carolina and current assistant coach of the Tar Heels. And Billy, you've had the opportunity this year to see some of the best teams in the country. And let's start with Princeton. They're ranked #1 right now. What are your feelings about Princeton?
Well, Princeton Tigers are a very good team. They're very well coached by Coach Tierney. He's done an excellent job. They have a great goaltender, Scott Bacigalupo. And they got a great close D. And on the attack, Kevin Lowe, he's been an assist man this year. They're just an overall well-balanced team.
Princeton right now with 11 first-place votes in the poll. Second-ranked team is Virginia. Hopkins lost to Virginia last week, 11-8, and you play them next week and then maybe again in the ACC tournament. What's it going to take to beat Virginia this year?
Well, they're a very fast team, and it seems like every time we play Virginia, they get psyched up for North Carolina. I mean, they earlier in the season, they have tough loss Princeton, but whenever they play the Heels, they can taste the victory. I think we just have to play discipline. We have to run with them, and if they get up early on us for a couple of goals, then we just got settle down and play our game because they got some talent too.
The number 3rd ranked team is Loyola College under Dave Cottle. You played them in the second game of the season at Loyola, and you lost by 2 goals. They're a well-balanced team. What are your feelings about Loyola?
Well, it was tough coming off to defeat the Syracuse, and then having to go Loyola. It's a tough place to play. We've lost there the past three times we played there. They're a well-balanced team too. They got a good young goaltender, McGeaney, and they got some offensive power. And that was a tough game. I think they'll be there in the end.
Today's game, Hopkins ranked 5th and Carolina ranked 6th. Both teams really can't afford another loss as far as playoff implications getting into the Final Four. What are keys today for a Carolina victory?
Well, I think first of all, our goaltending has to be on today. We've had some troubles, switching back and forth with our goalies, but Rocco has been playing well in the past 2 games, so he has to have a good game. I think offensively we have to shoot the ball on John Marcus. He's had some trouble in the last couple of games. So I think if we shoot the ball well and if we control their attack, Nicole and Reardon, what can you say? They've been scoring. If we control them and just play our game, I think we can come out with a victory here at home field.
Carolina has had recent success against Hopkins, winning 5 in a row after Hopkins won 5 in a row. It's been a very interesting series. You actually have never lost to Hopkins in your coaching and playing experience, and hopefully for you that continues today, Billy.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back after these messages with more lacrosse.
Working on something new.
That's why everyone who's serious about lacrosse plays with Sticks equipment.
My mother uses a stick.
With Sticks, you'll score more goals.
Probably 1,000, 100,000, million.
The people at Sticks know the sport.
The lacrosse players. Lacrosse players? I think my brother Paul worked at Sticks. Every goal we scored was Sticks. Sure do. Can't say any more about it.
1994 World Championships. Division I and Division III National Championships. What do they all have in common? Warrior titanium handles. The Warrior titanium handle dominates the field of champions when compared to aluminum. Titanium offers the best strength-to-weight ratio and has no substitute for quality and performance. If you're ready to take your game to the next level, demand the original Titanium handle. Demand Warrior Titanium handles. Call 1-800-968-7845. Howard Nash along with Quint Kesenick back here at Homewood Field in Baltimore, Maryland. Quint, two teams seeking their identity. Kind of an up-and-down season for both of them thus far.
Crucial midseason game. A couple keys, goaltending, obviously, face-offs and penalties, and the man-up offensive efficiency. Both teams have to capitalize on their extra man opportunities.
Rocco DeAndrea, the young goaltender for North Carolina. Jonathan Marcus should be put to the test today. Figures to be a high-scoring game, and, of course, the face-off's very important.
Yeah, I agree. Collins and Jacobs is going to be an interesting matchup. Jacobs, taller, 6'5", 215 pounds, and Collins is a little on the short side, 5'9", about 160 pounds. So it's strength versus quickness.
The North Carolina, after two opening losses, have won 3 in a row, going at it here at Homewood against Johns Hopkins University, and we'll be back with the opening face-off. This has been a preview to Lacrosse 94.
Like to spend a few moments with Capital star Dale Hunter during the Caps playoff drive.
Now Dale Hunter is there. They score!
Now the Islanders face an entire game with Dale Hunter and the Capitals. Tuesday night at 7:30, only on HTS.
Fair warning.
French called it lacrosse. For us, it was first a spiritual game given to us by a game between the animals and the birds. The ball is the medicine. It's always been the medicine, and it is what determines which side wins or loses. It's a game that's a legacy from our people to yours.
Y'all ready for this?
This is Lacrosse 94. Of Johns Hopkins University at Homewood Field in Baltimore, Maryland. It's the North Carolina Tar Heels against the Johns Hopkins University Blue Jays. Today's game is being brought to you by your friends at Toyota. For quality and value that's simply the best, see your Toyota dealer today. By STX, leaders in every area of lacrosse equipment and development. By the Mount Washington Tavern, where good sports meet for the best food in town. By Lax World, the complete lacrosse store for all your lacrosse needs. And by Pizza Hut, the best pan pizza you'll ever taste. The scene of today's game in Baltimore, Maryland, with the sun shining. Hello, everybody. I'm Howard Mash, along with Quint Kesenick, four-time All-American who played right here at Johns Hopkins University, as the Blue Jays will attempt to defeat the Tar Heels for the first time since 1988. Be the first time ever that Tony Seaman coach team has defeated North Carolina.
That's right, Howard. In the late 80s, Hopkins defeated North Carolina 5 times in a row, ending in 1989 in the national semifinals. Since that game, it's been all North Carolina, 5 in a row. Coach Klarman has yet to lose to the Blue Jays. I think today, though, it might have a different end result.
Last time these two teams met was at College Park Bird Stadium, where North Carolina won 16-10 to eliminate Johns Hopkins in a quarterfinal game. But as you mentioned, a lot of teams playing North Carolina notice the fact that they've graduated so many of their players from 1993.
They have. They're still strong, and they're extremely athletic, a lot of team speed, and they have Ryan Wade, perhaps the best midfielder in college lacrosse.
Let's take a look now at these two teams. They've played 5 games in this 1994 season. First of all, for North Carolina, goals per game, 14, and for Johns Hopkins, the same. Shots on goal even, goals allowed even. And you take a look at the extra man, University of North Carolina, 38% to 27 in face-offs, rather even, although Jacobs has sparkled for Johns Hopkins University.
Yeah, Jacobs and Collins is going to be a very interesting matchup, and when Collins gets tired, Carolina has the luxury of bringing in Ryan Wade to take some face-offs.
Well, Peter Jacobs taking over for Steve Vecchione. And now let's take a look at the top guns for both of these teams. First of all, North Carolina, Ryan Wade, 13 goals and 10 assists. And then we go to 8 goals and 10 assists for Langhoff. And then Jason Wade with 15 goals on 3 assists, and Jude Collins 9 and 6. The top guns for the North Carolina Tar Heels.
The impressive stat there is Ryan Wade with 10 assists. He's really giving up the ball very well.
And for Johns Hopkins University, Terry Reardon, the main gun, 22 goals. And, of course, Brian Piccola, that's the dynamic duo. He's got 15. Marr, he's the assist man from behind. And then we go to Macon, 11 goals and no assists. So, obviously, they're looking for David Marr to feed from behind. Johns Hopkins got to get that offense kicked in a high gear. They were rather stagnant against Virginia last week.
They were, but credit Virginia's defense. They did a great job neutralizing Piccola and Reardon, and then taking away Milford Marchant and David Marr. For Hopkins to win today, the complementary offensive players, not Reardon, not Piccola, the other guys have got to score a couple goals.
Johns Hopkins trying to defeat North Carolina for the first time since 1988, and we'll be back with the opening face-off from Baltimore, Maryland, Homewood Field, the scene of all the action.
It's time to get the best for your money.
You're simply the best!
And now Toyota Motor Credit offers a special new lease on the best car built in America, Toyota Camry. With a small down payment and just $259 a month, you can drive the best American family sedan with safety features like driver and passenger side airbags. Standard. That's Toyota Camry. If you want a deal, Toyota has a great deal. The Toyota Touch Plan.
You're simply the
See your Toyota dealer today.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chicken. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up. Slice it up. Put a fork in them. They're done.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your Proud to be your bud.
Homewood Field in Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome to Johns Hopkins University against the North Carolina Tar Heels out of the Atlantic Coast Conference. I'm Howard Mash. A pleasure to work along with Quinn Kesenick, 4-time All-American, as we see the Blue Jays huddle around the third-year head coach, Tony Seaman. And Seaman has yet to defeat North Carolina as a head coach here at Johns Hopkins. Dave Klarman's team got off to an 0-2 start, but they've come back and won their last 3 games.
Carolina beat Dartmouth 21-9, and then they beat Duke 23-9 and beat Maryland 12-7.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for North Carolina on the attack. It will be Langhoff, Carey, and Felter in midfield. Ryan Wade and his brother Jason Wade along with Spears. Defensively, Schreiber, Fox, and Bresci. And in the nets, a young goaltender, Rocco D'Andrea. And for Johns Hopkins University, it'll be Piccola, Marr, and Reardon. Midfield, Marchant, Gordon, and Jacobs. And on defense, Kuzma, Cavallo, and Pressman. And in the nets will be the sophomore, Jonathan Marcus. Let's take a look very quickly at the top 10 of the USILA. Princeton 4-0, Loyola 5-0. Best so far in 1994. Then Virginia, Syracuse, Hopkins, Carolina, Towson State, Maryland, Hofstra, and the Naval Academy. And, of course, Johns Hopkins looking to gain their 7th title. They won, as you noticed, 74, 78, 9, 80, 84, 5, and 7. Syracuse with 5, and North Carolina with 4. In the face-off circle, Jude Collins going at it against Jacobs, and we're underway here at Homewood on Lacrosse 94. As a young North Carolina team, Ryan Wade, the leading scorer, picked up defensively by Jay Penn, number 4. We'll see right away if North Carolina settles things down. This is Greg Langhoff. He's out of Timonium, Maryland. Man-to-man defense. Penn, a surprise starter for Johns Hopkins, number 4. Notice a lot of movement in front of the goal. Defense, a question mark, picking up a loose ball. A fine save by Marcus. And the Blue Jays stop North Carolina. And let's watch the Johns Hopkins clear. Peter Jacobs is 6'5", put on a little weight this season. Net defensively by North Carolina. Here's a shot, a score! Johns Hopkins gets on the board after only 59 seconds has elapsed in this first quarter as Jacobs put it in behind DeAndrea.
Peter Jacobs taking the ball to the net himself. You'll see Jacobs on the field a lot this afternoon. He faces off, he plays offense and defense. Here he is taking Jason Wade to the net, and he just uses his strength, barrels in. You'll see Carolina a little late to slide there. Both defensemen should have gone to help out their teammate a little earlier, and Jacobs bouncing the ball past DeAndrea. It's always key to get that first goal on a goalie.
Milford Marchand replacing Jacobs out on the face-off. Marchand number 15. And once again, Jude Collins. He won the Jay Gallagher Award as the outstanding freshman for 1993 for North Carolina. As the Tar Heels under Dave Klarman. This is Brendan Carey. You notice North Carolina likes to start their offense from out on top. Kyle Durkee is number 21. A lot of congestion, as you notice, in front of Marcus. This is Collins, number 42. And watch Langhoff as he looks to feed against the freshman. And that's the North Carolina game plan. Cutting in, that was Wilson Felter. As he took it from on top, as the ball rolls out to the midfield line. All important will be ground balls, as Dave Klarman talked about on the pregame show, and we get a whistle.
Hopkins will be called for an offsides violation, and Carolina's going to control.
So very quickly, North Carolina going back on the attack, trailing in this one, 1-0, as Peter Jacobs. Fine poke check. Jay Penn for Johns Hopkins. He's a Phoenix, Maryland native, Loyola High School. And let's see if Hopkins looks the fast break. As the pass was intended for Reardon. Against Virginia last week, that's one thing the Blue Jays did not do, and that was get the fast break in high gear. They settled things down and were stopped offensively, and head coach Tony Seaman wanted to get it going early in this one.
Well, David Marr made up his mind on that last play before looking.
UNC leading 11-10 gives you an idea how competitive it's been, although North Carolina has won every game since 1989. And now the Blue Jays look at a fast break. Bresci delivered the check against Reardon, the leading scorer for Johns Hopkins. Now North Carolina going on the attack. This is Collins. Langhoff from behind, looking for somebody slanting in once again. Good defense by Johns Hopkins. Cavallo, that's number 41. Cavallo is a senior out of Cockeysville, Maryland. He attended Delaney High School.
This is one of the keys for Hopkins today, clearing the ball against the North Carolina right. Carolina makes it very difficult for you to advance the ball from from defense to offense.
Head coach Tony Seaman has decided to call a timeout with Johns Hopkins leading in this one 1-0.
A friendly warning about the ultimate meat combo pizza from Pizza Hut.
You know, this pizza changed my life.
A meat taste so big, everything else will seem small.
I used to love a thick, juicy steak. Now it seems like a little hors d'oeuvre.
Big, thick slices of pepperoni. 2 kinds of Italian sausage.
And burgers taste downright microscopic.
This taste is so big.
It even makes my whole herd of prime beef seem mighty puny.
The ultimate meat combo pizza. Get one for $8.99 delivered. Any second medium for $5 more.
They're always working on something new.
That's why everyone who's serious about lacrosse plays with Sticks equipment.
My mother uses a stick.
With Sticks, you'll score more goals.
Probably 1,000, 100,000, million.
The people at Sticks know the sport.
They're lacrosse players. Lacrosse players? I think my brother Paul worked at Sticks. Every goal we scored was Sticks. Sure do. Can't say any more about it.
Take a look at this missed opportunity now by North Carolina. You'll see the feed in front by the attackman behind the net. Marcus with an excellent play there, deflecting the ball on a little defense in case the ball got through.
At number 22 was Wilson Felter, who's a senior out of Baltimore, and he attended the Friends School. As we watch Johns Hopkins, they've had some problems with the clears. Wilfred Marchand with a spin move. And notice how quickly North Carolina's back to defense. Rocco D'Amelia, the netminder out of Yorktown Heights, New York, for North Carolina. He and Greg Lehrman were in a battle for the goaltending job, and D'Amelia has played very well, allowing less than 9 goals over the last 3 games.
Yeah, they had an early season goalie battle. I'm talking to Coach Klarman before the game. He's confident in DeAndrea right now. He's outplayed Gary Lehrman in practice and deserves to start.
So DeAndrea, an economics major, as he works to clear. That's Shriver, number 27. Kevin Reichard, second midfield, out there now for Dave Klarman. Jason Pressman with a poke check, number 47 for Johns Hopkins. This is Carey going at it against the freshman Kruger. And that effort was saved by Marcus, as you noticed. Chris Hall, the senior, let fly in transition. Johns Hopkins looking a fast break. This is Colbert. Over to Marr. Caballero out there for the first time at 5'6", 150 pounds. He likes to operate off the left and right side. And Picola, the second leading scorer, to the right wing. That's number 9.
This is where Hopkins wants to get the ball to Picola and Reardon. Last week, the midfielders did the majority of the dodging. Coach Seaman really wants to get Reardon and Picola into the offensive game plan.
Billy Evans, a freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland, in tandem with Cavallo. And now a spin move. Caballero, a shot and a score! Johns Hopkins with her second goal in this one as Caballero does a 360 off of the right side of DeAndrea. And it's now the Blue Jays 2 and the Tar Heels of North Carolina nothing.
This is vintage Todd Caballero. If you remember last year, the first time these two teams met, we saw Caballero score 3 goals. And right there is the best roll dodge in college lacrosse. Caballero, only 5'6", 150 pounds. But watch the quickness there. Comes in and does a nice shot reaching around DeAndrea. Carolina's defense has got to help out, slide to Caballero, and deliver a body check.
Jacobs, who wins almost 70% of the faceoffs, picks up another one for Johns Hopkins. One of the keys to the game for the Tar Heels is their ability to win the faceoffs. Fine save by DeAndrea. Chris Macon looking for his first goal of the season. North Carolina coming to life offensively the last 3 games, averaging almost 19 goals. Guzman Green was a football player in high school. This is Langhoff going at it against Kuzma, the freshman, number 3 for Johns Hopkins. There's a shot and a score. It's the 3rd time that Wilson Felter has looked for the feed from behind, and that time he connected, and North Carolina gets on the board. It's now 2-1, Johns Hopkins leading in this one.
Wilson Felter. Nice goal on the feed. Felter's got 8 goals. You'll see the feed from Langhoff right in the stick. Decent defense there by Pressman. And Marcus actually gets a piece of the shot, but Felter gets the goal, his 9th of the season.
So we'll keep an eye as this game progresses. That has been the name of the game offensively for North Carolina as they started their attack from behind and have had cutters going to the goal. That time they connected as Felter cuts the Hopkins lead in half at 2-1 with 8:56 left in the first quarter. So the Blue Jays winning another face-off. Making a junior out of Baltimore, Lieutenant Gilman. It's Nicola, number 9, and behind Marr. Notice how Johns Hopkins tries to spread it out offensively and get the middle open and isolate with Nicola. He loves the bull dodge. Virginia double teamed last week, and that stopped Johns Hopkins from coming in off of the wing. So it's interesting to see what Dave Klarman does defensively. Now Chris Macon is a feeder, 11 assists, still looking for his first goal. And here's Caballero, who used the inside roll dodge to get the second Blue Jay goal. Reardon. That was DeAndre who makes a fine save.
That was a nice save. Carolina right now switching between defenses. They're playing man-to-man and now switching back into his own.
Billy Evans. Chuck Bresci, number 34, the veteran. Senior out of Cockeysville. Right back Evans. Here's a shot, and it appeared to hit the post on that one as it rolls across the far sidelines. And North Carolina, the benefactors, as we remained at 2-1 Johns Hopkins.
Billy Evans hit the pipe on that last shot.
Well, the keys to the game for North Carolina, the face-offs, Collins and Wade. Goaltending, of course, they have to get consistency out of DeAndrea, and ground balls on this AstroTurf.
Yeah, athletically, Carolina, they're faster and they're bigger. Theoretically, they have to dominate the ground balls in order to win. Hopkins, on the other hand, needs to clear the ball against the tough Carolina ride. Their team offense, their midfielders have got to score. Last week, Marchant was scoreless. Macon only had 1 goal. Casey Gordon didn't score. Actually, had 1 goal. They need to spread the offense.
That was a fine poke check, part of Matt Jackson. So now North Carolina, after losing their first 2 games of the season, have won 3 out of their last 4 as Langhoff. Kuzma with a fine play, the freshman. He's out of Yorktown Heights, New York, as we watch Johns Hopkins with the clear.
Great back check by Kuzma there, de-sticking Langhoff. We've seen Kuzma do that. That's his favorite check.
Scramble in front of the net. DeAndre obviously screened. Well, ground ball's a key, and Bresci picks it up for North Carolina.
Chuck Bresci, the veteran on defense for Carolina, the lone remaining starter from last year's runner-up team. Carolina graduated 2 first-team All-Americans, Alex Martin and Greg Paradine.
Well, if you're wondering why the Carolina player was rushed to get it out of the box, he had to do so in 10 seconds, and that time, Steve Schreiber, the junior, just threw it out to midfield.
Take a look at this back check. You'll see Kuzma reach behind the back there. Great check, de-sticking Langhoff and then picking up the ball. That's the most embarrassing play. And here's the hit on the clear by Brian Picola. Picola's a very tough attackman. Likes to scrap, likes to mix it up.
So now Johns Hopkins leading in this one, 2-1. A little under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Howard Nash along with Quint Kesenick on Lacrosse 94. And that shot was stopped again. So you notice the way the midfielders are letting go long range, something they did not do against Virginia last week.
Well, DeAndrea looked sharp. We had an opportunity to televise the Loyola Carolina game, and I thought he played average, inconsistent at times. He'd make a brilliant save and then let in a shot that he should have had. So far today, he's making the necessary saves and throwing consistent outlet passes.
The economics major, number 2, DeAndrea. This is Ryan Wade, part of the brother tandem with Jason Wade. Jason, number 43. This is Jacob Jacobs defensively. A shot and a score. A vicious drive. Propelled over the left shoulder, and North Carolina comes right back at the homestanding Blue Jays. It is now 2 apiece at Homewood Field in Baltimore.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chicken. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up. Slice it up. Put a fork in them. They're done.
Gonna get in the game. Get in the game. Lax World, now open in Annapolis.
Johns Hopkins in North Carolina deadlocked at 2. The Blue Jays got off to an early 2-0 lead, but right back at them came Carolina to knock the count.
Jason Wade with a nice left-handed drive, beating John Marcus to the off-stick side. Jason Wade and Ryan Wade, they're brothers, and they play a very similar style. They're both ambidextrous. Jason Wade obviously prefers his left hand, as we just saw. Both work extremely hard during the off-season on their speed and strength. Underneath Wade's jersey there is one of the strongest midfielders in college lacrosse, and you can see him bully through Peter Jacobs, who's 6'5", 210 pounds.
16th goal, and that leads North Carolina in that category. And the ball will go to Johns Hopkins University on the push.
It's a loose ball push off the face-off. Hopkins now set to clear.
It's Carmen Cavallo, as this has been one of the trouble spots for Johns Hopkins. Jonathan Marcus, 6'1", 190-pound sophomore goaltender out of Lynbrook, New York. And now Kuzma, who is a freshman. Fine poke check. That was Brendan Carey. It's a 2-on-2. The defense quick to get back. And now North Carolina has a chance to go and take the lead for the first time in this one.
Those clearing mistakes will kill you in a close game like this. You cannot afford to give Carolina second and third chance opportunities.
Ryan Wade, the leading point producer. A stop by Marcus. That's Cavallero now. And they'd like to get a one-on-one opportunity as Cavallero met defensively by Jason Wade, number 43. And now Schreiber is on Brian Piccola. Now, Piccola went to the goal late in the game against Virginia, and that's his style of play, and a wrap by Schreiber. Sloppy Claire all alone in front of the net would have been Reardon had he picked up the ground ball. So a missed opportunity for the Blue Jays. And now North Carolina looking a fast break for the first time in this one. That was stick checked by the outer defense, something Virginia did with great proficiency last week against Johns Hopkins, as Timmy Colbert has it. Hopkins 0-5 since 1990 against North Carolina. Tony Seaman has yet to defeat the Carolina Blue as the coach of Johns Hopkins University. So now North Carolina, it's a 4-on-3 as we watch Carolina's offense. Freshman playing some big-time defense as he feeds Colbert, and now they turn it around. 4-on-3 for Hopkins. A shot and a score! Brian Piccola lines it over the left shoulder of DeAndrea, and the Blue Jays regain the lead at 3-2.
Great shot by Brian Piccola. He loves to operate off to the right-hand side of the goalie, about 8 to 10 yards. Here's the fast break. Here's Colbert feeding David Marr, who takes his time with that. Piccola steps towards the cage and fires it past DeAndrea. That's a very tough save for a goalie. Here's the assist by Marr again, the other angle, and Piccola just rifling it. He's got excellent accuracy.
So Piccola, who also lettered in soccer when he was in high school, Oceanside, New York native. He attended Oceanside High School and gives Johns Hopkins a 1-goal advantage as the Blue Jays go on the attack once again. Ground ball is so very important as Peter Jacobs is manhandled as the flags fly, and Hopkins will have an extra man opportunity.
That's going to be a slash on the head by North Carolina. Number 23, Darren Sweeney, really clocked Peter Jacobs on top of the head, and Hopkins will have a man-up opportunity now for up to 1 minute. You can see the slash right there by Sweeney, just getting Jacobs right on top of the helmet. Easy call for the official.
Dave Klarman has called his first time out with 3:03 left in the first quarter. Kind of expected a high-scoring game, Quint. Both defenses suspect early in this 1994 season, but so far that hasn't been the case.
I think both teams are just trying to get into the flow of the game. I think we'll see things open up as we progress here. Exciting game. Both teams really need a win today, Howard.
Well, as you take a look at Johns Hopkins in the 80s, in 1989 at University of Maryland, Hopkins defeated North Carolina 10-6, but from then on it was all North Carolina, 16-10, 6-5, 11-10, and 11-10 back in 1987.
It's been a series of streaks right there. You can see in the late 80s how Hopkins won all those games. Now in the 90s, Carolina has won 5 straight. So it's been 5 for Hopkins and now 5 for Carolina.
11-10 overall. North Carolina has the edge in the series. And of course, last year at College Park, it was 16-10, and North Carolina then went on to the finals.
Brian Piccola, Hopkins attackman, has done a great job.
He injured his ribs last year. Quint missed half of the season, and when we saw the games early this year, he was a little tentative in going to the goal.
Well, he hurt his ribs this fall and has been slow to come back, but he presents a lot of problems to cover. He often draws fouls or scores a goal, so he's a nightmare for a defenseman.
So Johns Hopkins trying to match their biggest lead of 2 as they operate with the extra man opportunity. 2:45 left as you notice the congestion in front of DeAndrea. Really packing it in defensively as Klarman's Tar Heels. Well-intended give-and-go attempt. This is Billy Evans, a freshman. Reardon. You wonder if DeAndrea saw the ball as it just flicked off of the edge of his stick. And now North Carolina. Jason Saunders, sophomore. Shot and a score! What a play! Kyle Durkee took the feed from behind and in a prone position, flicked it in, and we're deadlocked at 3 apiece.
Beautiful play both ways by Sanders, clearing the ball up the field, penetrating and taking the ball behind the net, knowing not to force it here, and then finding Durkee all alone. And Durkee not stepping into the crease. You see, the reason he left his feet there was so that he didn't step on that red line, which was the crease. Nice play by Durkee, a midfielder, but operating efficiently in front of the net.
Out of St. Paul's School, Durkee is a studio art major, 5'8", 160-pounder. He too was a soccer player in high school. Many of these players have played 2-3 sports, lettering during their high school careers. And now North Carolina picking up a loose ball. It's a 3-on-2. Jude Collins with some good hustle along the far sidelines.
Ooh, that hurts too when you slide across a dry AstroTurf like that. He'll have some raspberries on his knees and his hips.
STX leaders in every area of lacrosse equipment development. STX has created the sport's most innovative and exciting products. The name of the game is STX. Number 44, Marcus, the goaltender, attended the same high school as Quint Kesenick, Lynbrook. Tony Seaman was Kesenick's high school coach. As we watch Piccola, who has a goal today. Steve Schreiber on him defensively, and a big-time defense by Schreiber with the wraparound. Now North Carolina. This is Ryan Wade, leading point producer. when they doubled up on Wade, Johns Hopkins nearly got burned for the effort, all alone off of the right side, but the pass didn't find him.
Here you go, Ryan.
Hopkins now attempting to clear. Carolina's ride is so difficult because of their hustle. They cover the field. They make it tough for you.
Is Ryan Cummings seeing his first action in 1994, number 1. Jays looking to spread it out with 43 seconds left in the first quarter. Tied at 3. Hopkins has never trailed in this one. As we watch Reardon, the leading scorer for the Blue Jays. Kruger, a freshman, and a save. DeAndrea trying to beat Rocco DeAndrea high. And now look for North Carolina the fast break. This is Wade. Off to the right side again when they double teamed. The Blue Jays took a chance, but the pass missed connection.
Wade has 10 assists this year. He's done a nice job at distributing the ball because everyone is so conscious at stopping him. The problem right now for Carolina is the guys are not handling his passes.
Warner Kruger, a freshman, making a freshman mistake as time runs out in the first quarter. And at the end of the first 15 minutes of action, it's North Carolina and Johns Hopkins University deadlocked at 3 apiece.
Gonna get in the game. Get in the game. Black's World, now open in Annapolis.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chicken. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up. Slice it up. Put a fork in them. They're done.
We love lacrosse! Because Lacrosse Magazine is a source for men's and women's lacrosse.
Because I still love the game so much.
Because every coach should be a member.
They make things happen.
This is awesome, man. Look at that check. I was at the game. Where was it? Magazine's cool.
Some of the crowd here in Baltimore, Maryland. Homewood field, the seat of today's North Carolina Tar Heel Johns Hopkins University game. Howard Mash along with Quinn Kesenick. And fans, it's Warrior Titanium Handles, the choice of champions. Order now at 1-800-968-7845. As you notice, Johns Hopkins with a decided early edge in face-offs.
Collins won that last face-off. You could see his quickness. Got the ball away from Jacobs and then just tucked in underneath him to beat him to the ground ball.
So now we'll watch Johns Hopkins clear against the Carolina Ride. Princeton and Loyola, the two major college undefeated teams early in this season.
That's a nice clear by Hopkins, getting the ball to Marchant and letting him leg it out. He's the fastest Hopkins player. It's the easiest way to clear.
They've been looking to isolate Reardon, clear the side for Terry at 6'5".
Reardon's got a bad right ankle this week. He missed practice on Thursday and Friday. He's fine today, though.
This is Casey Gordon, transfer from the University of Virginia. Now Mars the feeder from behind, number 13, as we watch Johns Hopkins start the offense from out on top. See how they've cleared the side to let Reardon, using his size, against a smaller defender. Jason Sanders, a shot and a score! What a play by Reardon, who pulled battle between two Carolina defenders. He rifled it home, and Johns Hopkins regains the lead at 4-3.
This is not particularly smart defense by North Carolina. This is the matchup that Hopkins wants. It's Reardon dodging against a midfielder with a short stick, Jason Sanders, who probably held Reardon there. Didn't get the call, though. But this is a matchup that Hopkins will take advantage of. And there's the other angle. Reardon just with the sidewinder shot over DeAndrea. There is no way that Sanders, as a short stick midfielder, can stop Terry Reardon, perhaps the best attackman in college lacrosse.
Last week, Virginia was doubling up on Reardon and Piccola, forcing Hopkins to try to shoot from long range. And when they didn't, they just packed it in all day. And now North Carolina not double teaming on that occasion, and you saw what happened. And Jacobs, who wins over 70% of the faces, wins another one. Again, they're packing it in. Cavallero, unaccustomed to being in that spot out at the midfield.
You can hear the defense communicating amongst themselves, telling each other where the ball is and who's got the backup.
Credit John Fox with a fine defensive play. Fox is only a freshman out of New York. Let's see if North Carolina chooses to fast break or if they settle things down.
Nice little clear there by DeAndrea, running the ball upfield past David Marr. Marr and DeAndrea both played for Yorktown High School, as did number 26 right there, Usman Green.
You know, last year, Green, number 26, in a game played at Chapel Hill, filled it up from about 15 yards, 3 long-range drives, but he has yet to gun it from long range against Johns Hopkins today.
Last year, Usman Green had 25 goals. Most of his goals, though, were as a crease midfielder. He has problems creating his own shot. And last year, with the success of North Carolina, he was put in position inside to score a lot of easy goals.
A shot and a score. Fine individual effort by North Carolina. That was Jason Wade, the sophomore, and we are deadlocked once again at 4.
That first midfield's extremely tough to stop. You've got Usman Green, Ryan Wade, and Jason Wade right there with his 17th goal of the season. It's a left-to-right move, just leaving Macon in his tracks and beating Marcus to the far side. Jason Wade showing a little diversity right there, using his right hand. He's predominantly known as a left-handed player, and I think Macon was trying to stop his left hand, and he capitalized.
So North Carolina has never led in this one. They trailed by 2 at 2-0, came back. Hopkins made it 3-2. Carolina back. Hopkins 4-3. And North Carolina right back at them. We're deadlocked at 4. This is Bresci, the senior. Three straight for North Carolina after 2 opening season losses as Kyle Durkee goes at it against Jay Penn. This is Langhoff. Earlier this season, North Carolina starting their offense at the wing spot or behind the net. We notice a change this week. They're starting from out on top, trying to spread the Johns Hopkins defense. And let's watch the Jays defend. See Marcus come out on the double. Shot and a score! Hopkins burned as Marcus left the pipes, and North Carolina leads for the first time in this one at 5-4. So from Homewood Field in Baltimore, Maryland, right now, the Tar Heels out of the Atlantic Coast Conference lead 5-4 over Hopkins.
Friendly warning about the ultimate meat combo pizza from Pizza Hut.
You know, this pizza changed my life.
A meat taste so big, everything else will seem small.
I used to love a thick, juicy steak. Now it seems like a little hors d'oeuvre.
Big, thick slices of pepperoni. 2 kinds of Italian sausage.
And burgers taste downright microscopic.
This taste is so big.
It even makes my whole herd of prime beef seem mighty puny.
The ultimate meat combo pizza. Get one for $8.99 delivered. Any second medium for $5 more.
Okay, classic cars.
63 Vet.
Split window. Right. 68 Camaro Super Sport.
GTO, any year.
Nice. Gran Torino.
Starsky and Hutch. Good car.
65 Mustang Ragnar.
It's obvious.
75 Pacer.
Tail fin.
Bumper bullets.
Bench seats.
Drive-ins.
Boss 302s. 427 big block LED 8 with an 850 double pump.
Beechwood aged Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
Homewood Field in Baltimore, Maryland. Johns Hopkins and North Carolina going at it, and the visitors leading for the first time in this one, 5-4.
Jude Collins with that last goal on an assist from Langhoff. It's Collins' 10th goal of the season. He's from Alexandria, Virginia, which 10 years ago probably didn't even have a high school lacrosse program down there. But as lacrosse is spreading now, we're seeing more players coming from obscure places like Virginia, Colorado, Michigan, and even Florida.
So the feeder on that play, Greg Langhoff, out of Loyola Blakefield High School in Timonium, Maryland. He's a political science major. And it was his feed that set up the goal, and it's now 5-4 off of this face-off.
Give it a horn, it's white ball.
Johns Hopkins will have possession.
You see both sidelines. Both Hopkins and North Carolina have excellent coaching staffs. Dave Klarman has 3 assistants, Chip Mayer, Billy Day, and Robbie Russell. The entire staff of North Carolina actually graduated from the University of North Carolina.
This is Casey Gordon. And Jason Wade off to the left side. So now Hopkins finding themselves behind for the first time in this one. Oh, a terrific wraparound. That was Ryan Wade, the leader in goals, playing some big-time defense. Here's Gordon, blocked by the outer defense.
Interference call against Rocco DeAndrea. Once your player scoops the ball there, you're not allowed to make contact with the opponent. DeAndrea and Wade there have to communicate. As a player, when you scoop the ball, you've got to say release, which signals your teammate not to make contact.
Casey Gordon, whose dad played here at Hopkins, Ray Gordon, sociology major, as the Jays now try to open up that Carolina defense, spread things out. Marchant. Marchant going to the goal. Fine opportunity, but just did pull it wide.
Shot out of bounds to the Blue Jays. Last year, Marchant had almost 25 goals. This season, he only has 4 goals and no assists on 25 shots. He's got to work on his accuracy.
Terry Reardon tied for 4th in all-time Johns Hopkins University goals with 107. Blue Jays trailing to the Tar Heels, 5-4. Reardon looked for somebody out on top. Just forced it into the middle, and Johnny Fox intercepted, and then he threw it away. One of the few unforced errors in a well-played first half.
Nice pickoff there by Fox. Reardon really forced that in, and Carolina historically has excellent defensemen who can pick off passes. They make it very difficult for you to exchange the ball between teammates. We saw a lot of that last week against Virginia, where their defense picked off a lot of passes.
That's Marcus. Jason Pressman, a defenseman. Cavallo.
Hopkins will be called for an offsides violation. Pressman crossed the midfield line, and on the far side of the field, the midfielders have got to know to stay back. You need 4 players on your defensive half of the field at all times.
North Carolina out on top, blocked by the outer defense as they look to fast break. Ground ball so very important. One of the keys to the game as Langhoff picks it up for the Heels. And the Tar Heels will go on the attack with 9:07 and counting in this second quarter, leading 5-4. This is Brendan Carey, number 9, out on top for Felter, and he shot at a score. North Carolina blazing from the outside, and it's now a 6-4 game, the largest lead for North Carolina thus far.
Wilson Felter with a great shot there. I had no idea that Felter had such a crank. 6'1", 185 pounds. Watch this right-handed shot from about 12 yards on the run. Just beating Marcus right up in the corner. That's where you want to shoot it. Take a look at this angle. pretend you're in the cage there. And that ball does come pretty fast out of there, especially out of traffic when a player's moving. It's extremely difficult to pick up the ball. Excellent shot by Felter. His second goal of the game.
Sports medicine major is Felter. Perhaps will come to work with Towson Sports Medicine, one of our fine sponsors. As Jacobs has it for the Blue Jays, as suddenly the offense has gone totally asleep in this one after opening up very quickly a 2-0 advantage. Now, this is the first time we've seen Jacobs behind the net this afternoon, so it's another offensive set.
This is the set that Hopkins had success against Syracuse. Syracuse defensively very slow to slide. Now we see North Carolina shifting into their zone defense. This is Casey Gordon on the end line. Casey can play both attack and midfield.
Goes at it against Reinhardt. Oh, what a fine wraparound. Darren Sweeney, number 23, knocked it off of one of the Blue Jays. And now North Carolina playing tremendous lacrosse both ends of the field. It's netted them possession and a 2-goal advantage.
Darren Sweeney, 2 excellent plays so far in this game. A nice check there. And earlier he had a great ground ball. He's from upstate New York, North Carolina. Certainly a national program when it comes to recruiting.
And now a very delayed call coming up against North Carolina, as they're going to be whistled on an offside. As we'll watch now, Johns Hopkins University on their clear with 7:45 left in the second quarter. Howard Madge along with Quinn Kesenick. I want to welcome all our affiliates across the East Coast, New England Sports Network, and of course Sports out of Atlanta, Sports South. As this call will go against Johns Hopkins.
Timmy Colbert drove to the net and shot and actually scored. As he was driving to the net, though, you can hear the whistle. Hopkins is offside right now, and the whistle blows about right here, but Colbert continues to the net, shoots, beating DeAndrea. A lot of the players had stopped there because of the Hopkins offsides. That's a penalty that could come back to haunt the Blue Jays.
All right, here's Jude Collins. Macon has got him defensively. See how they clear the side. Carey, number 9 for North Carolina, and Jason Pressman.
Nice check by Pressman. Nice wrap check. At halftime, you'll see Quince Hughes, and I'll go over some of the checks, and that was Jason Pressman there with a wrap check. Pressman is a player who has really improved in his 2 years here at Hopkins, and a lot of that success, I think, comes to his work in the weight room. He's the strongest player on the Hopkins team. In fact, he's one of the strongest students at Johns Hopkins University, and he has taken his work in the weight room, and I think he's gotten confidence and applied that to the field now. And last year he was hardly played a second, and this year he's a starter, and he's doing a fine job.
Former All-State high school football player, political science major, number 47 for Johns Hopkins, as the Blue Jays try to regenerate this offense. Opened up 2-0, but been outscored 6-2 since, with 6:34 and counting in the second quarter. See the quartet of defenders now in front of DeAndrea, forming a box. Hopkins looking to spread it out. Reardon, and his stick was checked from behind.
Shot out of bounds to the Blue Jays.
You can hear Rocco DeAndrea right now calling. First thing the goalie's got to do is call where the ball is. Not all the defensive players can see where the ball is, so they listen to the goaltender. Second thing the goalie is calling is who's got the help, who's got the backup if the defensive player has a problem.
So the ball being awarded to North Carolina, and you hear what the home-standing Blue Jay crowd thinks about the call. They say it was deflected off of one of the Blue Jays, and now North Carolina leading by 2. That's the largest lead either team has enjoyed thus far. Jason Wade and Felter, who has sparkled with 2 goals thus far in this one. See that wide circular passing, trying to spread out Johns Hopkins. This is Carey. That's That's a freshman, number 3, Kuzma, on Langhoff. Now, they'd like to clear the side and let him work against the freshman. Slanting in, Green. Got a little too intense, stepped in the goal mouth, and it'll turn back now to Johns Hopkins.
Usman Green with an excellent attempt there. Didn't have much of an angle, and you have to credit Werner Kruger for Hopkins with forcing him down the side and decreasing his angles. That was nice defense.
Let's watch Johns Hopkins. They have yet to fire it from the midfield, the top of the box, to loosen up. Nearly a goal. As you notice, the clear very sloppy, and Johns Hopkins fortunate that time. This is Picola, and it's wrapped from behind. Steve Schreiber quick to adjust. Still loose. A pipe shot. Picola hits the post. And a flag thrown. Johns Hopkins, Marchant will be whistled off on that one.
That's going to be a holding violation against Marchant. He takes a one-handed wrap check he tries here. Watch his free hand. He just wraps it around the neck with Fox. Easy call for the official right there. That's a big pipe shot, though, for Hopkins. Brian Picola hit the crossbar. Last week against Virginia, he hit the crossbar also. It could be a 2-goal swing.
Well, since 1990, Johns Hopkins 7.8 goals per game against North Carolina, whereas the Tar Heels have averaged over 13 goals per game since 1990. And right now, North Carolina lighting it up with 6. Johns Hopkins leading early in this one. They have 4 now that fallen behind. And slanting in, and again blocked by the outer defense, enabling Marcus. Carolina steals. You see how North Carolina is firing from long range, which has a tendency to loosen that defense.
North Carolina had some problems early season with their man-up unit. They were 1 for 20 after their first 2 games against Syracuse and Loyola. They've made some changes.
Matt Jackson, number 5. His poke check dislodged it. Cavallo to Kuzma. Avoiding Usman Green. Steer, number 12. Let's see if Hopkins is able to fire it from out on top, as we see Gordon met defensively by Jason Wade. There's Marchant. Well intended, but Reardon fanned on the attempt.
Got to credit John Fox there, getting his stick in the passing lane and making it difficult for Reardon to handle the pass. Schreiber, number 27, and Fox, number 30, have done an outstanding job. They've really improved as the season has worked along. They've played together now for 6 weeks, and you can definitely see improvement.
All right, here's Gordon out on top. Picola fanned on the shot. Every shot by Johns Hopkins 10 yards or shorter. And now a fast break opportunity for North Carolina. They've got the numbers game in their favor. Oh, what a vicious check delivered by Johns Hopkins University. Now the Blue Jays trying to get it going offensively. This is Peter Jacobs. Quick step. And then it went off the side of the stick. Flag is thrown off the left side of the area. It'll turn right back to the Blue Jays.
That's going to be another interference call against North Carolina.
Well, Johns Hopkins has not scored a goal in over 10 minutes. They do appear to be very tentative offensively, as they were against Virginia, as head coach Dave Klarman has decided to call a timeout with 2:46 left. It's 6-4, North Carolina in this one.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chickens. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up. Slice it up. Put a fork in them. They're done.
gonna get in the game. Get in the game. Black Swirl, now open in Annapolis.
2:46 left in the second quarter. Howard Mash along with Quinn Kesenick back here as we take a look at Tony Seaman, the third-year head coach. He's never defeated North Carolina as a Johns Hopkins head coach. He did have success when he coached at the University of Pennsylvania. A career record of 117-55 for Tony Seaman. Obviously concerned over this ineptness on the part of the offense. Not only not scoring the last 10 minutes, but really not looking in sync as this game progresses. As we watch Reardon. This is Picola. Give and go shot and a score, and they're going to wave it off. Apparently, we still haven't gotten the official call yet. Originally, he was about to raise his hands as if it was a Blue Jay goal. And as we take a look at the assistant head coaches, obviously that will not be a goal for Johns Hopkins.
That's going to be an inadvertent whistle and a face-off.
Oh, a tough call for Johns Hopkins.
The ball hit the side of the net. People assume that it was in the net. Take a look at it. Watch the speed by Marr finding Cavallero on the backside all alone. But he misses the net. He had a great attempt there. The referee now blows the whistle right there, so we'll face it off.
This is Terry Reardon as they look to bulldodge. You notice how North Carolina double teams, and Bresci has it poked off of his stick. And Johns Hopkins with another opportunity. Credit David Marr for this possession, number 13.
Two good defensive plays in a row there. Carolina doubled Terry Reardon as he came up along the right side, and then David Marr hustling down Chuck Bresci and turning the ball over for Hopkins.
We watch Macon. You see how much congestion there is in front of D'Amelia. Here's Reardon with a jump shot and a score. Terry Reardon puts an end to the drought that lasted close to 11 minutes, beating DeAndrea low left, and it's now 6-5. North Carolina up by 1.
Nice offense by Hopkins. Take a look at it. You'll see the feed inside. Jump shot, Terry Reardon, right in the corner. Credit, nice pick play inside. Here's the other angle. Reardon with a little hang time there, beating DeAndrea to the off-stick side low. Very tough save.
Well, we reflect back on the fine play made by David Marr, who poked the stick of Bresci, enabled Johns Hopkins to maintain possession, and that was a catalyst more than anything to that goal.
That goal was assisted by freshman Billy Evans.
Jude Collins off of the face. Marcus making a save. 1:37 left till halftime. Let's watch the fast break opportunity for Hopkins. Oh, another pipe shot. Can you believe it? And Hopkins will have possession.
Take a look at this pipe shot. Here's Jacobs feeding Marr, and no one picks him up, so he decides to shoot. David Marr has not scored a goal yet this season. He's got about 15 assists, shooting against his ex-high school teammate, Rocco DeAndrea, and he pinged the pipe.
Well, head coach Tony Seaman has decided to call a timeout. 1:25 left in this second quarter as we kind of seesaw here at Johns Hopkins. The Blue Jays led early, and then North Carolina put a streak together to open up 2, and now it's 6-5. And as we take a look at the huddle, Dave Klarman, what's he telling his troops defensively?
Carolina's had some success in this game defensively, shifting between a man-to-man and a zone defense. We can look for that to continue. And they've just got to hustle in between the lines and make plays, get the ground balls and move it to the open teammate. These two teams seem very evenly matched. I mean, I can't imagine this game not being a 1 or 2 goal differential.
Let's take a look at the USILA top 10. Princeton and Loyola, the two major college undefeated teams. And we go to Virginia, a lot of young talent. Watson and Whiteley, and then Syracuse at 4-1. Hopkins and North Carolina, two teams near 500, rather unusual. Towson State, they only lost by 1 to Syracuse. They're coming up on the Lacrosse 94 schedule. University of Maryland, we'll see them next week against the Naval Academy. Head coach Dick Edel trying to get back on the winning ways as we see a young Blue Jay in the making, perhaps a future Quinn Kesenick, maybe even better. Let's take a look at some other action as Yale is at Princeton. Loyola in the night game under the lights at Minigan Stadium to take on Towson State. Virginia at Maryland. We'll be at Byrd Stadium next week. Syracuse at UMass. The game played as part of a tournament at Brown. And the Naval Academy against Army. And that's always a war. And what's the matter with the Army this year?
Army graduated a lot of seniors from last year. It's always fortunate for Johns Hopkins that they play Army after the Army-Navy game. That's when you want to play the military academies, after they just crush each other on the previous Saturday.
And, of course, next week we will have the Naval Academy against the University of Maryland. 1:09 and counting. Now, Johns Hopkins probably will burn some clock. And you watch the cutters. Picola, now Reardon coming off the left side. See that action in front of DeAndrea? They're going to look to catch the feed from behind. And if that's not successful, watch Jacobs as he'll look the goal. There's Reardon. Just missing on that bounce shot. That's where the one that he scored the 5th goal for Johns Hopkins. Ground ball is important once again. And Johns Hopkins, the benefactors, as we watch Marchant with 34 seconds.
Excellent hustle by Hopkins. This is a second chance opportunity.
Here's Gordon. A bounce shot and a score. The first time Hopkins has put it on the ground in front of DeAndrea. And we are in deadlocked at 6.
Big goal by Hopkins. Now watch this bounce shot. It's probably one of the slowest shots we've seen all year. DeAndrea gets a little shoulder to it, but the ball trickles up into the corner of the net. Perfect placement by Casey Gordon. Credit that goal, though, to the hustle of Milford Marchant and Casey Gordon working, generating the turnover and getting a second chance opportunity.
We have not had very much rain this past week, so the AstroTurf harder than it has been the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season. As Jacobs winning another face-off. Over 70% for Jacobs this season. Of course, last year, Steve Vecchione sparkled for Johns Hopkins off of the face. And now, 17 seconds until halftime. There's the spin move. A shot. And it hit the pipe. 3 pipe shots in the last 5 minutes have done in the Blue Jays more than anything. And as we tick off the final seconds of this second quarter, only 10 seconds remaining.
That was clearly a pipe shot. The players and coaches for Hopkins are arguing it. You can clearly see that the ball hit the pipe. It's Cavallero on his roll dodge. Beautiful move.
All right, North Carolina now trying to do something with it, but that's it. We have reached halftime, and we're back where we started. These two teams tied. Johns Hopkins University and the University of North Carolina out of the Atlantic Coast Conference, deadlocked at 6.
If you're a serious golfer or just looking for some fun for the whole family, you'll want to check out Nighthawk Golf Center. Yes, it's a driving range, batting cage, and a miniature golf course with a pro shop and a golf school, too. Nighthawk features a lighted driving range with a sand trap and a putting green, a high-tech teaching facility with PGA and LPGA pros, and a discount pro shop where you can try your clubs before you buy. Nighthawk Golf Center on Route 3, just north of Crofton. It's a family fun center.
When it's your home that's down and time's running out, don't foul out with others. Go with a superstar, John C. Dorsey Plumbing and Heating. For nearly 50 years, John C. Dorsey has led the league on all your home repairs. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. John C. Dorsey is a name you can count on. Call 927-7100 for a free estimate. That's sure to score on all your commercial and residential needs. You're always in the game with John C. Dorsey Plumbing and Heating.
Here's what it's like to spend a few moments with Capital star Dale Hunter during the Caps playoff drive.
Now Dale Hunter is there, and they
Now the Islanders face an entire game with Dale Hunter and the Capitals. Tuesday night at 7:30, only on HTS.
Fair warning.
A chance for the Bullets to play the shot, Mark Bryce and Cleveland are fighting for playoff position. Now Dukes and the gang can have a shot to shoot down the Cavaliers. Watch the Bullets work for a win against Cleveland Friday night at 7:30 on HTS. You're watching HTS, a Prime Network affiliate.
It's time now for Quint's Cues, brought to you by Lax World.
Welcome back to Quint's Cues. Quint Kesnick here. Today we're going to take a look at some defensive checks that you'll see during the game after this word from our sponsor, Lax World.
Gonna get in the game. Get in the game. Lax World, now open in Annapolis.
Quint Kesnick here with Mark Dixon, attackman for Johns Hopkins University. Today we're going to take a look at some checks that you'll see during a lacrosse game. At times lacrosse can appear to be a barbaric sport, but in fact there's a method behind all the checks that you'll see. The first one is called a poke check, and it's pretty simple. You want to be in your good defensive posture here. As Mark drives right-handed, I'm going to use my backhand to push my stick through and dislodge the ball. Again, without Mark, it's going to look this way. Poke, poke, okay? The second check you'll commonly see is if he's driving left-handed, it's called a wrap check, a very common check here. I'm in my normal defensive position, and as he moves his stick in front of his body, I'm going to time it and check this way. Okay, so this is a timing thing. I'm watching the head of his stick, and as it comes front, I'm going to check, okay? It's all timing. Occasionally, I'll throw a fake wrap in there to just dislodge his rhythm. Okay, and he's good. He's a good attackman the way you see he protects his stick from me. Next check is a back check. He's driving right-handed, and instead of checking in front of his body, I can check behind him, behind his neck, or behind his back here. Okay? A lot of times, attackmen will drag their stick behind them. They'll be so conscious of this check that they'll leave it dragging, which will give me that back check opportunity. Okay, next check is an over-the-head check that Dave Petromala really made famous in the sport of lacrosse. A lot of times, if Mark beats me by a step or two, my last resort is to go over the head this way. Okay, you often see this when a player is beat. Mark puts a move on me, I'm beat, and I can reach back and get him over the head. And another common check we'll see is called the dig. Pat McCabe at the University of Syracuse a couple years ago really perfected this check. Mark's driving right-handed, and I'm going to time his stick as his butt end comes behind him. I'm going to dig this way. Okay? I'm coming from the front to the back this way, and the ball drops loose. Yeah, that's something that Pat McCabe at Syracuse, former All-American, perfected a couple years ago. Thanks, Mark. Good luck today. Thank you. We'll be back after these messages.
If you're a serious golfer or just looking for some fun for the whole family, you'll want to check out Nighthawk Golf Center. Yes, it's a driving range, batting cage, and a miniature golf course with a pro shop and a golf school, too. Nighthawk features a lighted driving range with a sand trap and a putting green, a high-tech teaching facility with PGA and LPGA pros, and a discount pro shop where you can try your clubs before you buy. Nighthawk Golf Center on Route 3, just north of Crofton. It's a family fun center.
When it's your home that's down and time's running out, don't foul out with others, go with a superstar. John C. Dorsey Plumbing and Heating. For nearly 50 years, John C. Dorsey has led the league on all your home repairs. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. John C. Dorsey is a name you can count on. Call 927-7100 for a free estimate. That's sure to score on all your commercial and residential needs. You're always in the game with John C. Dorsey Plumbing and Heating.
The Capitals on HTS this April. This is Total Playoff Drive Crunch Time. It's do or die for the Caps. All April long on HTS. Session. It's everything you want to know about the Bullets. Monday nights at 7 on HTS.
We're at halftime. North Carolina and Johns Hopkins University deadlocked at 6 apiece. Howard Bash along with Quint Kesenick on Lacrosse 94. Early on in this one, it looked like Johns Hopkins really had the offense in high gear as the first goal was scored by Jacobs.
Peter Jacobs driving to the net right-handed for a bounce shot. Jacobs showing some versatility. He can face off and he can score goals.
Johns Hopkins continued the early onslaught.
This is Cavallero with the inside roll, a 360 move, comes in and reaches around DeAndrea. Great shot there, the way he held onto the ball and reached all the way around.
Well, not only offensively, but the Jays sparkled defensively as well.
That's a back check, de-sticking Langhawk by Brian Kuzma, the freshman. Beautiful check. And here's a poke check by Matt Jackson. Here's a goal by Kyle Durkee on a feed from Langhoff.
Well, that knotted the count at 3 apiece, and then Felder enabled North Carolina to open up their largest lead.
Brendan Carey with the feed. Watch this shot by Wilson Felter on the run, right up in the corner. Beautiful shot by Felter.
Casey Gordon, whose dad Ray played right here at Johns Hopkins, knotted the count just before halftime.
It's a big goal for Hopkins to draw even at 6-6. Watch this ball bounce. Really kicks up into the top portion of the net. That's a shot that does not work on grass, but is very effective on AstroTurf.
Let's take a look at the Pizza Hut's halftime statistics. The big disparity, shots on goal. Johns Hopkins with 27, only 13 for North Carolina. Saves 10-5 North Carolina. Face-offs, Hopkins winning 9-6 for North Carolina. Ground balls about even, although Hopkins has got an 8 advantage in ground balls, extra men and penalties. So not much of a difference. Take a look at the scoring leaders for North Carolina. Felter with 2, Wade with 2, Langhoff 2 assists, and Collins with 1 goal. And the top guns for Johns Hopkins thus far in this one. And as you would figure, would be balanced scoring. And of course, Reardon, the leading scorer with 2, Jacobs 1, Picola 1, and Gordon 1, as we're deadlocked at 6 apiece. And out of the face-off circle to start this third quarter, Jacobs for Johns Hopkins, and that was Wade for North Carolina, and Jacobs continues his mastery, winning 10-6 for North Carolina, and giving the Blue Jays an opportunity to make it 3 straight goals after falling behind by 2 as we are deadlocked at 6 apiece. This is Gordon, who scored the 6th goal. Marchand. Now Hopkins is looking to spread things out and open up the middle. But they still do not like to fire it from long range. And look at the first half scoring. UNC goals, 6 by the midfielders, none for the attack. And Johns Hopkins evenly distributed 3 and 3. Although the midfielders did score from in close. None of them were long-range bombs.
Got a nice matchup right there. 2 excellent midfielders, Milford Marchand against Ryan Wade. Both players played at the Severn School down in Annapolis.
Picola takes a feed, breaks behind the defense, and gives Johns Hopkins the lead at 7-6.
Picola took Marchand's feed there. Watch this feed by Milford Marchand. Really sneaking the ball into Picola. Great handle by Picola to catch it, stick it in the net, and then he knocked DeAndrea back into the goal. I mentioned earlier how Picola likes the rough stuff. He likes the physical play, and right now, You can see the Hopkins attack and Carolina defense talking. A little taunting going on.
It's Brian Piccola, who now has 2 goals. He has been talking with DeAndrea, changing pleasantries of the day, no doubt, as Johns Hopkins has regained the lead at 7-6. The Blue Jays bidding to win for the first time since 1989, and of course North Carolina is the team that knocked Hopkins out of the quarterfinals last year. Game played at Byrd Stadium. Final in that one was 16-10. Peter Jacobs, a magician, off of the face-off. So far this season, over 70% victorious as he goes at it against Jason Sanders. And now Hopkins trying to make it 4 straight goals. Caballero, who has a goal today, normally is stationed at a wing position. You see him out at the midfield. As a freshman, Evans takes the pass, number 28. See Piccola's inverted out on top, and now Caballero. He loves the spin move. They like to clear the side. And the unforced errors, and North Carolina will go on the attack.
To Robbie Russell there, assistant coach for North Carolina, specializing in the midfield play. Former Carolina midfielder himself in the mid-'80s, won a national title in 1986.
A lot of congestion in front of Marcus, as you notice. This is Sanders. That time the double-teaming defense did the job. Cavallo and Jackson. 3-0 run in the last 10 minutes for Johns Hopkins. That's been the catalyst to this 7-6 advantage after trailing 6-4. Now Reardon likes to operate a lot closer than this 15-yard range.
That was nice defense by Fox there. Reardon had the whole side of the field. Tried to go right, swung back to his left, but Fox was up to the task. And Reardon gave the ball up.
Gordon, Marchand, and Jacobs, the midfield out there now for Tony Seaman's Blue Jays.
For Carolina, Sanders,
And that call will go against Johns Hopkins.
That's going to be a moving pick violation against Hopkins. When the ball's behind the net, Hopkins loves to pick in front of the cage. They do a lot of off-the-ball movement. It puts pressure on the defense. Often when you see Reardon score, it's because of a pick, and that time they were guilty of a moving pick. Very similar to basketball.
For sports-related injuries, it's Towson Sports Medicine, conveniently located next to St. Joseph's Hospital in Baltimore. Walk-in clinic hours Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5. And now North Carolina going on the attack with an opportunity to tie this one. We've been tied at 2, 3, 4, 6, and now Carolina trying to knot it at 7. Good defense by Cavallo. This is Langhoff for Jason Wade.
for Carolina,
As Hopkins packs it in defensively. A shot and a score. Marcus screened, and the bouncing drive enables North Carolina to knot the count at 7-up.
Check out the best in harness racing at Rose Drop Raceway, where the welcome is warm and the action is hot. Post time 7:30 p.m.
If you're a serious golfer or just looking for some fun for the whole family, you'll want to check out Nighthawk Golf Center. Yes, it's a driving range, batting cage, And a miniature golf course with a pro shop and a golf school, too. Nighthawk features a lighted driving range with a sand trap and a putting green, a high-tech teaching facility with PGA and LPGA pros, and a discount pro shop where you can try your clubs before you buy. Nighthawk Golf Center on Route 3, just north of Crofton. It's a family fun center.
When it's your home that's down and time's running out, don't foul out with others, go with a superstar. John C. Dorsey Plumbing and Heating. For nearly 50 years, John C. Dorsey has led the league on all your home repairs. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. John C. Dorsey is a name you can count on. Call 927-7100 for a free estimate. That's sure to score on all your commercial and residential needs. You're always in the game with John C. Dorsey Plumbing and Heating.
Join HTS's Smokin' Al Koken for the Caps Report, 1/2 hour before every Caps game on HTS.
Well, Jude Collins appears to be injured as he's walking along the near sidelines. That would be a major blow for North Carolina.
It really would. Collins does a great job on faceoffs, scored some goals. Actually, he's got a goal today. Alexandria, Virginia, and he's taking a look at his ankle. It looks like he's not going to come back in because he's got all of his equipment bundled up. Best seat in the house right there. It's Wrigley Field here at Homewood.
Yes, it is. Watching a Cubs game, you can also watch Johns Hopkins. Of course, if you're watching the Cubs, you got to scoop. But right now, we're deadlocked at 7 apiece as Johns Hopkins goes on the attack. As Reardon let fly. That time they kind of doubled up on Reardon.
You have to slide quick to Reardon. You can see Terry favoring his ankle after that shot. As I mentioned earlier, he banged up his ankle on Wednesday and really didn't practice hard the rest of the week, and there was some question as to what his effectiveness would be this afternoon.
28 as a freshman, Billy Evans, Loyola High School. Reardon with 2 goals on the day, 107 career goals. Cavallero has a goal. Now they clear the side as he works against Wade. Oh, a tremendous drive made by Reardon. And the rebound, but quick reflexes by DeAndrea. Poor clear. What a save, DeAndrea, way out of the net. Hopkins with a lot of pressure right now. Let's watch the defense.
DeAndrea, 3 big-time saves in a row there, robbing Mark from close range.
That's McCullough stationed behind. Take it out on top. Oh, a sweet wraparound. And DeAndrea is able to pick it up. Kuzma, the freshman.
Beautiful defensive check on that last dodge by Brian Picola.
There's Evans isolated on top with Sanders.
That's a check where the defenseman uses the butt end of his stick to reach around the attacker.
Picola looked to field. Reardon slanting in. And a well-intended play is broken up. Now fast breaking. This is Sanders. The back feed to Wade. And a shot. And a score! Brendan Carey, Huntington, New York native, gives North Carolina an 8-7 lead.
This is quintessential Carolina lacrosse. They played excellent defense. Rocco DeAndrea came up with 3 and 4 saves. They get the ball downfield. Smart play by Sanders there. Drop pass for Wade. And watch Carey right to left. And Marcus is a bit out of position there. You want to stay in the cage and cut down the angle. But you've got to credit smart play by Sanders and Wade, finding the open man and Carey converting.
So the number 5 and 6 ranked teams in the country doing battle today. And it's now 8-7. North Carolina regaining the lead.
DeAndrea, brick wall there for the last 2 minutes. 3 point-blank saves. 1 against Macon, 1 against Marr. Set the whole goal up.
Here's Jacobs looking the bull dodge. And you see North Carolina double teaming. So now Jacobs will set it up.
We always talk about the importance of goaltending, and I think that was a prime example of where a goaltender denied a goal and then the team capitalizes. A 2-goal differential.
All right, here's Reardon and another poke check. When you talk about Jacobs and Reardon, they're both at 6'5", 24 and 19 for Johns Hopkins as the defense makes the stick check. Marchand's got that quick first step as he whirled through the defense. DeAndrea comes up again, and a pipe shot by Picola, the fourth for Johns Hopkins in this one. And the goaltender's best friend helps North Carolina again.
Watch Milford Marchand now slice through the defense. Beat 3 guys, come in and hit DeAndrea in the thigh. Great positioning by DeAndrea, making the big save. And here's the shot by Picola sailing wide. But DeAndrea there coming up big against Milford Marchand from about 2 yards. That's an opportunity that Marchand has got to capitalize.
Take a look at the saves. North Carolina 15, Johns Hopkins 5. So although DeAndrea forced to make some big-time saves in this third quarter, he has been spectacular. That's the reason North Carolina leads 8-7.
We're going to have an offsides violation against North Carolina on that last clear. Sanders with a great wraparound check. Carolina worked the ball across the midfield line, but a couple defensemen decided to get a little too offensive there. Watch this check. This is a one-handed wrap check that we showed earlier. He'll reach around the front, dislodging the ball from Marr. Great check there.
Caballero as the Jays go on the attack.
Hey, come on, Randy! Go, Terry!
This is Picola. Schreiber is on him defensively for North Carolina. David Marr. Evans. Doubled up, Caballero. Jays have an opportunity out on top. Just wide. One of the few long-range drives that Johns Hopkins has shot goalward today. Oh, what a fine wrap. John Fox, and we're going to get a call coming up.
It's not going to be for the wrap. That was a beautiful over-the-head check. But then the ball dropped loose, and it's going to be a slash in the head, and that'll be a 1-minute foul. Beautiful check by Fox. Watch this. He sets it up and fakes it and goes over the back. He faked the wrap check and went over the head of Terry Reardon. And the slash came afterwards.
Hey, Dave Klarman has decided to call a timeout with North Carolina leading in this one 8-7 over Johns Hopkins.
A friendly warning about the ultimate meat combo pizza from Pizza Hut.
You know, this pizza changed my life.
A meat taste so big, everything else will seem small.
I used to love a thick, juicy steak. Now it seems like a little hors d'oeuvre.
Big, thick slices of pepperoni. 2 kinds of Italian sausage.
And burgers taste downright microscopic.
This taste is so big.
It even makes my whole herd of prime beef seem mighty puny.
The ultimate meat combo pizza. Get one for $8.99 delivered. Any second medium for $5 more.
It's been a benchmark of quality for 25 years.
You're simply the best!
Toyota Corolla, ranked among the top 10 models in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates. And available now through a special new plan from Toyota Motor Credit Corporation. With a small down payment and just $159 a month, you can lease the best Corolla ever with driver and passenger side airbags. Standard. If you want a deal, Toyota has a great deal. The Toyota Touch Plan.
You're simply the best!
See your Toyota dealer today.
6:53 left in the third quarter. Howard Mash along with Quint Kesenick on Lacrosse 94 with North Carolina leading in this one 8-7. Part of the crowd here enjoying some real beautiful weather in Baltimore. Opening day for the Orioles right around the corner. See some of the high rises as Johns Hopkins looks to get the equalizer following the timeout called by Dave Klarman of North Carolina.
Hopkins up a man now for 1 minute because of that slash.
Evans. So that's twice in a row Johns Hopkins has fired it from long range. Perhaps that will loosen up the North Carolina defense. There's Caballero as he's shut off. Ground ball so very important. Watch the North Carolina shifting defense. So work against the extra man enjoyed by Johns Hopkins.
Carolina's strategy right now is to shut off Terry Reardon behind the net. Play with 4 men in front.
DeAndrea comes up again big with a fine save, and it's been the DeAndrea show in this third quarter for North Carolina. One man back defensively. Save, looking for the rebound, North Carolina, but Marcus is able to handle it. Suddenly we've got length of field action. Moore's got Reardon. He shoots and scores! Reardon with a bounce shot, and it's now 8-8. These two heavyweights in NCAA Division I hammering at one another, and we are tied once again.
Nice shot by Reardon. Take a look at the way Marv spots Reardon and feeds a spot there and lets Reardon run to the ball, beating DeAndrea low. That's such a tough shot for Terry Reardon because he's fading away from the cage, and yet he can jump and turn while in air and make that shot. It's like a fadeaway jump shot in basketball. Most players won't have enough velocity on their shot, but Reardon obviously does.
So the hat trick for Terry Reardon. More importantly, it's brought Johns Hopkins even with the Tar Heels. The freshman Kruger chasing it down. Number 40 for Hopkins is Warner Kruger. 5'7", 165, out of Columbia, Maryland.
That's Dave Klarman, head coach of the University of North Carolina, who in his first year as head coach took Carolina to a national title. 1991, defeated Towson State up at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse.
Fans watching this one on the New England Sports Network, Empire State Network, Home Team Sports, and Sports South, the home of the Atlanta Braves. That was Ryan Cummings having some problems with it, Syracuse, New York native. And on the turnover now, it'll be North Carolina trying to go the length of the field against Johns Hopkins University Ride. You see shots on goal. Johns Hopkins almost a 3-to-1 advantage, 39-16. And that further magnifies the incredible job Rocco DeAndrea has done today for North Carolina.
Just saves. Those were Rob's saves. Real high-quality shots by Hopkins, and DeAndrea just turned around.
This is Langhoff, senior from Timonium. Carey. Jason Wade. Fine save by Marcus. Wade again. He shoots and scores. That time it was a bouncing drive. For the second time, Wade scores low against Marcus from the same spot, and North Carolina regains the lead at 9-8.
This is just great hustle by the Wade brothers. Marcus makes a fine save on the first shot. Watch his save. Offside high. Marcus is there. He really anticipated it. But Ryan Wade scoops up the ground ball. He leads the Carolina Tar Heels in ground balls, squares up to the net, and fires that bounce shot. Looked like to be a little interference in front of the goal there. It's always tough to make the save when you're screened.
Warrior Titanium Handles, the choice of champions. Order now at 1-800-968-7845. Billy Evans picks it up off of the face-off. This is Gordon. And Milford Marchand. Jacobs, the face-off specialist, out at the midfield area. It's a little like Rod Hundley, who played here in the late 70s. Canadian midfielder, had the big shot from out on top from 15-yard range. Jacobs with a shot and a score! Fine play by Jacobs, showing some quickness. 6'5", 200-pounder brings Johns Hopkins even at 9.
Peter Jacobs, a right-handed player, switching to his left. Now watch the accuracy on this shot, right in the corner. It's a tough save by the goaltender. His only chance there is to get a foot on it. Here's the other angle, the wide angle. Beautiful shot by Jacobs. Not the fastest shot, but really well placed. It's tough as a goaltender to make that save when you're moving to your right, to come all the way back to your left to make that save. Perfect placement.
So Milford Marchand out there on the face-off for Johns Hopkins. Going at it against Wade. being put to the test as a face-off man due to the injury to Collins. Very active is DeAndrea. I'll tell you, this is the 7th tie of the game. These two teams, even in all categories, however, territorially and shots on goal, big difference in favor of Johns Hopkins. Yet the goaltender, DeAndrea, the big equalizer thus far in this one. This is Langhoff. Jason Wade. Now Carolina spreading it out. See how the middle is left open. So you look for North Carolina to have some cutters, and that's exactly what Langhoff looked to do, to feed somebody. But it was checked by Kuzma.
Hopkins now switching into their zone defense. You can hear Marcus calling out black. That's the term they use for zone. You can also hear him calling out the location of the ball. Top right, side right, back right.
Midfield for Carolina, Wade.
Hopkins with a freshman defender, Kruger, standing just off of the right side of Marcus as you watch. Carolina zip it around in clockwise fashion very quickly. Mark Phillips, a sophomore, number 29. For Carey. Watch somebody slant in. Wade has burned him twice from just there.
The object of the zone defense is to keep Carolina out of the center of the field, really make them shoot from the perimeter.
That was Usman Green looking to snap it in from in close. It's deflected off of North Carolina, so credit Johns Hopkins with some big-time defense. Now they'll have an opportunity against the Carolina Ride to gain the lead. And look how close this one is. Score by quarters, and that tells it all.
Got to credit Coach John Hawes, the defensive coordinator of Johns Hopkins, for that last turnover by their defense, switching from a man-to-man to a zone defense.
Johns Hopkins showing vast improvement on their clear, as we just saw. Now Milford Marchand. He's out of Severna Park, Maryland. Severn School. 55 seconds left in the third. Deadlocked at 9 apiece. 7th time these teams have been tied. Neither team is led by more than 2. North Carolina at 6-4. Johns Hopkins at 2-0. And that time,
David Marr threw the ball back to Reardon, and Reardon had just thrown it to Marr. A little give-and-go move there, but Reardon wasn't paying attention. You can see Marr with the long hair. He's always, people are always giving him grief about that. He says he's always going to cut it. Every time I talk to him, Q, I'm going to get a cut for next week's game. He never does.
Here's Bresci, the senior. Is Carolina going to fast break? A shot and a score! Bresci, the element of surprise. Bresci, a defenseman, and he gives North Carolina a 10-9 lead.
This one's going to hurt Hopkins with 31 seconds left. You see Coach Klarman's real happy about that. Chuck Bresci, honorable mention All-American last season, comes in and shoots from 12 yards, and Marcus gets a piece of it, but the ball trickles in. It's very tough to pick up the ball coming out of a long stick. You can see Bresci there with his titanium shaft. His cousin Joe was a first-team All-American at North Carolina.
So the political science major does a number on Johns Hopkins. The defenseman, 6 feet tall, 185 pounds. 1993 was an honorable mention All-American. Jay Penn has got it for the Blue Jays. This is Reardon. See how they double up? DeAndrea cut down the angle. 15 seconds left in the third quarter.
That's Macon, number 17, denied again from close range by DeAndrea.
David Marr now with the clock winding down. As you notice in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, that'll tell the story. Jacobs tripled up. Delay call coming up against North Carolina. And we've got but 3 ticks of the clock left in the third.
That's going to be a holding violation against North Carolina. So Hopkins now will have a man-up opportunity for 30 seconds. But with 3 seconds left in the quarter, they'll just hold the ball out and then as we start the fourth quarter, they will have possession.
And possession, the name of the game, as we see some of the crowd enjoying the action, obviously, here. Two teams that have made it to the playoffs and won championships, along with Syracuse. Hopkins and Carolina have won more than any other schools as the clock winds down, ending the third quarter with a score. The North Carolina Tar Heels out of the Atlantic Coast Conference 9, and the Johns Hopkins University Blue Jays 9.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chicken. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up. Slice it up. Put a fork in them. They're done.
The 1994 NCAA Women's Lacrosse Championships and the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championships both return to Byrd Stadium at the University of Maryland. For tickets to the women's games, May 21st and 22nd, and the men's games, May 28th through 30th, call 1-800-462-8377. That's 1-800-462-8377.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, Towson Sports Medicine Center is the place for you to go for all your sports injuries. Located in Baltimore's finest orthopedic and sports medicine facility, Towson Sports Medicine is staffed with Baltimore's most experienced orthopedic group, providing services in the clinic and on the playing field. Therapists and trainers are available to provide a wide variety of treatments, including the state-of-the-art therapy pool. For information about walk-in clinic hours or for an appointment, call 337-8847. Towson Sports Medicine Center will treat you like a pro.
One goal advantage enjoyed by North Carolina. Johns Hopkins operating now with the extra man as we begin the fourth quarter of action. And watch North Carolina's shifting defense, and you see scoring coming mostly from the attack for North Carolina. Oh, a fine poke check. Bresci, who scored the go-ahead goal. 3-on-3. In North Carolina wisely slows it down. The Blue Jays did have the opportunity there briefly to operate with the extra man. Jason Wade.
Beautiful move by Wade there, faking right and then coming back for his left hand, really tricking Billy Evans.
This is Macon. He gives it off. He's got Picola. He's got Reardon, and the shot is pulled wide as Reardon is pounded into the goalpost. And let's see, as he's very slow to get up, he was sent flying into the goalmouth area.
That looked like more than a push there. That looked like a potential personal foul. Here's the fast break. Picola might want to shoot that, but finds Reardon. Reardon, you don't see him miss many of those. 107 career goals.
See, that check from behind was very close. This is Bresci. Notice the bounce feed. Durkee. Fast breaking on a 4-on-4. Now it's a 5-on-4. Here's Carey. And North Carolina will have possession.
You can see the speed of Kyle Durkee on that last clear for Carolina, creating the fast break. That's the type of game you don't want to play when you're playing the Tar Heels. Generally, they're faster. Just love to run and gun.
Rob Tobin has got it. Number 32 for North Carolina. Tobin is a sophomore out of Annapolis, Maryland. Seeing one of his infrequent shifts. One goal advantage. Let's see if he tries to set up Kuzma. That was intended for Tobin. Caballero doing a fine defensive job as he screened Tobin. And as the ball is thrown away, it'll be Johns Hopkins now going on the attack against the North Carolina wide.
Take a look at Brendan Carey here with the left-handed drive. He'll miss the net. Marcus right there, though. Marcus wearing a little wrap on his knee. That's from a turf burn you get on artificial turf.
Another bounce pass employed by Johns Hopkins is Coleman. Huntington, New York native. Is bidding to tie for the 8th time in this one. We're deadlocked at 9, and then Bresci put it in toward the tail end of the 3rd quarter to make it 10-9, and that's where we are right now. Hopkins forced to play catch-up. Both teams have led by 2. Johns Hopkins at 2-0, and North Carolina at 6-4. Gordon look for somebody slanting in. It's good defense. Johnny Fox, a freshman, he had Pecola tied up.
Excellent stick work there. That's why defensemen use the long stick. Gives him a buffer zone to cover the man. You can see the way he poked Pecola as he shot.
Now here's Gordon. They're looking to screen DeAndrea. A lot of congestion in front of DeAndrea. See how they pack it in defensively? Look for the bull. Now with Mershot, you look for somebody slanting in. Jacobs. It's one of the few bounce shots. Jacobs likes to line it toward the goal. But Hopkins the closest to it, and they'll maintain possession. On top, see that stick check by Bresci. Big time defense by the Baltimore native Bresci, playing in his home state. As River deflected it into the stands.
Ball off Hopkins stick to Carolina.
That's a good call by the official. Fox caught the ball, turned upfield to make the pass, and the ball deflected off of Terry Reardon's stick, so Carolina set to clear.
Take a look at the saves. North Carolina with 16. Johns Hopkins with 9. Count the tremendous saves by DeAndrea, along with the pipe shots, at least 4 so far for Johns Hopkins in this one. But it's North Carolina with the lead in the ball. This is Ryan Wade to Jason Wade. And now Carey plays it back. Wade has scored twice on bouncing shots from head on at about 15 yards. That's a freshman on him right now, Kruger, as we watch the action.
This is not the matchup that Hopkins wants. They've got to help out Kruger here. Ryan Wade, perhaps the best offensive midfielder in the country, definitely has an advantage over Kruger.
Now the middle is open. You see defensemen coming in, double teaming. Pressman deflects. One of the few behind the back shots we've seen in this one.
It was a good time for it, though. Brendan Carey didn't have much of an angle, and as he took the stick behind his head, I think that increased his angle.
So North Carolina with some pressure here with 10:46 left in regulation time, and North Carolina enjoying a 10-9 lead.
This is a stage in a game where Carolina's depth can become apparent. They've been rotating midfielders into this game. Coach Klarman likes to play a lot of players in late stages of the 4th quarter. That can pay dividends.
Carolina spread out. The defense. Look for man slanting in. Missed connections. And now Kruger. Holder avoids a check. Carolina with a nifty play. That was Jason Sanders. Fast break opportunity. Left wing all alone. The shot hits Marcus in the helmet. A vicious drive. I think Marcus anticipated the feed to number 11, slanting in on the left side. Instead, the shot was taken. Now Johns Hopkins. Kuzma avoiding the wraparound. Kuzma, the defenseman. The defenseman scored for North Carolina. But now we have a whistle. And Pecola stepped in the goal mouth, and it'll turn back to North Carolina.
That's a tough foul right there. Hopkins plays excellent defense for about 2 minutes to clear the ball up the field. And then having a captain step in the crease where the ball is about 20 yards outside of the box. That's a tough foul. That'll drive coaches crazy.
DeAndrea. Scott Polke's got it. Polke for Durkee. Durkee, who has scored that quick step, loves to go off to the left side. That's how he scored his goal. advantage. Ryan Wade, he's the leading point producer. His brother, Jason, is the leading goal scorer. Inside roll freezing for the moment. Hopkins doubling up. Now brother Jason. Greg Langhoff burning some clock with a 1-goal advantage. 2-3 defenseman for Johns Hopkins. Delayed call against the Blue Jays. Marcus makes the save. And now North Carolina, though, will operate with the man advantage.
It's going to be a slashing violation against Brian Kuzma. The call here is a slash because Kuzma got him on the back of the head. Here's the shot afterwards. Marcus made the save.
Man down defense for Hopkins.
Controlling the ball. The goalie can use his hands to bat the ball or to stop a shot. He cannot pick up the ball with the hands.
Next week we will be in College Park, Maryland, Byrd Stadium, as the University of Maryland under head coach Dickie Dell takes on Brian Matthews and the Naval Academy. And then 2 weeks from now, it'll be homecoming here at Johns Hopkins, the University of Maryland, and the Blue Jays of Hopkins. We watch now North Carolina trying to match their largest lead of 2. Good defense by Steer, number 12.
Carolina's always had a very potent man-up unit. They've just got so many athletes. As a goaltender, you look right, you look left, and they're great players surrounding the cage.
Watch Carolina whip it around. That's the same way Wade has scored twice. Low shot, perhaps triggered from about 5 yards longer than the shot that he scored on. Guzman Green has yet to fire long range, and he burned Hopkins last year 3 times. So Johns Hopkins put to the test defensively, comes up big, and it's still a 1-goal advantage for North Carolina with 7:47 left in the 4th quarter.
Winner of the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation 50/50 raffle, sponsored by
The Blue Jays now are forced to clear.
They're still down a man here, so Carolina will try to match man for man and make it difficult for them to clear.
Battle for the ground ball. Steve Schreiber has got it for North Carolina. See how quick North Carolina gets it just off the right side of Marcus. Kuzma playing some fine defense, number 3. Hang off with a superior speed, out on top. Marcus came down, cut down the angle, the only way he could have made that save.
Big save right there against Sanders. Marcus bouncing back after letting in that Bresci goal to end the 3rd quarter. That was one that he should have, and he normally does have, but you can see he hasn't let it rattle his confidence.
He took 2 giant steps out to meet North Carolina, unable the save to be made. The defense coming up big for Johns Hopkins. This is Casey Gordon. He's got Picola, and DeAndrea returns the favor. So both goalies coming up with some huge saves. And a throwaway by North Carolina. Hopkins, with 6:41 left in the 4th, are still down by 1.
Both goalies now doing a great job. That was DeAndrea. Watch his save. This is Brian Picola on the backdoor cut. DeAndrea comes out, cuts down the angle, and goes stick on stick. As a goaltender there, you want to match the head of your goal stick, which is a lot larger, to the head of the offensive player's stick.
This is Billy Evans, number 28, a midfielder. So the political science major will put the ball in play for Johns Hopkins against Wade. This is Jason Wade, number 43, the leading goal producer for Carolina, being forced to play defense. Evans, he'll look for some cutters as we watch the front of DeAndrea. See Macon stationed in front of DeAndrea, number 17. to the midfield. That's where they want to start. And Picola, unaccustomed to being that far away, look for Macon. And on the throwaway, Johns Hopkins unable to do any damage offensively, and North Carolina still nursing that one-goal advantage.
Peter Murphy, freshman long stick midfielder there for North Carolina, did a great job denying his player the ball and forcing the turnover. Murphy was a player highly recruited in high school as a midfielder. Coach Klarman switched him now to long stick defense.
Well, and Johns Hopkins been able to gain possession. DeAndre was 15, 20 yards out of the goal. However, North Carolina has possession.
It's going to be a loose ball hold. You can see that's a push actually right there by Terry Reardon all over Ryan Wade's back. Wade made a smart play though. If you feel the pressure on your back, you got to fall. Draw the foul.
Timeout called by Tony Seaman. 5:45 left in regulation. 10-9, Carolina.
It's time to get the best for your money.
You're simply the best.
And now Toyota Motor Credit offers a special new lease on the best car built in America, Toyota Camry. With a small down payment and just $259 a month, you can drive the best American family sedan with safety features like driver and passenger side airbags. Standard. That's Toyota Camry. If you want a deal, Toyota has a great deal. The Toyota Touch Plan. See your Toyota dealer today.
Gentlemen, your opponent was hot and cold this half, but that was just an appetizer. The next half is for the whole enchilada. I'll stake my reputation on it. You need to cut them up and eat them alive. Middies, you should be licking your chops. You're bigger than these shrimp. The attack has got to feed the middies. Defense, poke them in the ribs, carve them up like a piece of meat. They're chicken. Okay, here they come. Pass it around. That's the way to go. Come on, guys. Now you're doing a great job. Cut it up, slice it up, put a fork in them. They're done.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
Well, let's take a look at a review of the fourth quarter. The game played last year, 1993 of May. The final score in the fourth quarter was 5 goals for North Carolina, 2 for Hopkins, 17-10. North Carolina outshot Hopkins, so they certainly enjoyed that edge in the fourth quarter last year. And let's see how things go the remaining 5:30 in this one, as North Carolina has a 1-goal advantage, and neither team has scored thus far in this final quarter of regulation time.
I don't think you can use last year's stats, though, as an indication of what's going to happen in this quarter. This is a different Carolina team. They only returned 2 offensive starters from last year's finalists.
All right, you notice the wide circle trying to spread it out again. Langhoff and Kuzma. He loves the quick spin. They double up. Blocked by the outer defense. Picked up. Shot. Save. Marcus. Well, another huge save. 1-goal deficit for Johns Hopkins as North Carolina wins the chase. No, they turn it around and give it to Johns Hopkins.
Werner Kruger and Jason Wade going at it on the far sideline. Remember, on a shot, when the ball rolls across the line, it's the player who's closest. And that time you can see Kruger and Wade really boxing each other out. Great save by Marcus, robbing Sanders in close range.
Howard Mash along with Quint Kesenick on Lacrosse 94. New England Sports Network, home of the Red Sox, Empire State, the New York Yankee Network, Home Team Sports, Baltimore Orioles Network, and Sports South, the home of the Atlanta Braves. Hopkins down by 1. This is Cavallero and Darren Sweeney, a junior. Number 23 for North Carolina defensively. Cavallero working the weave with Marr. This is Marr. Stick check. What a play by Sweeney. So not only is the goaltender sparkling, but he's getting help from his defense, as we noticed on that shot.
Right at the last second. Looked like Marr was going to get his first goal of the season. The late check came in.
Looks that quickness by Cavallero. He'll spin. He'll shoot. And it hits the side of the netting. So the home crowd, a little premature in their cheers. Now a fast break opportunity. North Carolina's got the numbers game. Marcus with a save. What a shot! A score! North Carolina. Brendan Carey. Acrobatic off-shoulder drive, and it's North Carolina 11, Johns Hopkins 9.
A friendly warning about the ultimate meat combo pizza from Pizza Hut.
You know, this pizza changed my life.
A meat tastes so big, everything else will seem small.
I used to love a thick, juicy steak. Now it seems like a little hors d'oeuvre.
Big, thick slices of pepperoni. 2 kinds of Italian sausage.
And burgers taste downright microscopic.
This taste is so big.
It even makes my whole herd of prime beef seem mighty puny.
The ultimate meat combo pizza. Get one for $8.99 delivered. Any second medium for $5 more.
If you're gonna get in the game, get in the game. Lax World, now open in Annapolis.
Classic television. Hogan's Heroes.
Green Acres.
Arnold Zipper. Who played him?
Nobody. He was the pig.
Remember Family Affair?
Mr. French.
I loved him.
Indeed.
He's attractive.
Pete, Link, Julie. Okay, Ginger or Mary Ann?
Ginger was a bimbo.
Mary Ann. Mary Ann or Jeannie?
Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Jeannie.
Crisp, clean, classic.
Well, let's take a look at the 11th goal for North Carolina. An off-shoulder drive.
Kyle Durkee with the shot. Marcus makes the save with the rebound. Scoots out front, and Carey just picks it up, flings it over his shoulder into the net. A garbage goal, but they all count.
Huntington, New York, the hometown of Brendan Carey. The business administration major gives North Carolina a 2-goal lead. And Ryan Wade, a local product here out of Baltimore, enables North Carolina to gain all-important possession as the clock, very much a factor. This is the largest lead, matches the largest lead that North Carolina has had. The last time they led by 2 was way back at 6-4 in the second quarter. It's now 11-9 with 3:04 and counting. So we'll take a look now at Johns Hopkins defense. This is Usman Green against Jacobs.
Hopkins going to have to step out, try to take the ball away from Carolina. I'm sure Coach Carmen has told his team just to hold it out and kill some clock here.
We can anticipate Jonathan Marcus, if they get in close off the left and right side, to double up. Reed and Jacobs out on top. Shot. Jacobs comes up big. Brendan Carey, the hero, with the 11th goal, nearly did it again.
That would have iced it right there. But Carey missed the net from right in front.
This is the Johns Hopkins clear. We're watching Jason Pressman, a New Jersey native. It's Carey creating problems. Timmy Colbert against Jason Sanders. Reardon, who has some goals so far today, a pair. John Fox is on him. Now they'll clear the side. Hat trick thus far for Reardon, who has 3 goals. Look at that Carolina defense. They're going to have to fire long range. There's the face by Marchand, but Sanders doubles up. Forced drive, and DeAndrea with the easiest save of the game for the Tar Heels. This is Wade in transition with 1:28 and counting. And now Dave Clawman wisely calls a timeout as North Carolina, with 1:24 left in regulation time, matching their largest lead and hanging tough at 11-9.
friendly warning about the ultimate meat combo pizza from Pizza Hut.
You know, this pizza changed my life.
A meat taste so big, everything else will seem small.
I used to love a thick, juicy steak. Now it seems like a little hors d'oeuvre.
Big, thick slices of pepperoni. 2 kinds of Italian sausage.
And burgers taste downright microscopic.
This taste is so big.
It even makes my whole herd of prime beef seem mighty puny.
The ultimate meat combo pizza. Get one for $8.99 delivered. Any second medium for $5 more.
They're always working on something new.
That's why everyone who's serious about lacrosse plays with Sticks equipment.
My mother uses a stick.
With Sticks, you'll score more goals.
Probably 1,000, 100,000, million.
The people at Sticks know the sport.
They're lacrosse players. Lacrosse players? I think my brother Paul works at Sticks. Every goal we scored was Sticks. Sure do. Can't say any more about it.
Let's take a look at an unusual occurrence as Pete Murphy and Chuck Bresci meet off of the left side.
You can see right there, Murphy gets his stick caught in Bresci's face mask, and I think Bresci thought that it was a Hopkins stick, the way he turned around there and was so angry about it. That's Coach John Hawes, defensive coordinator for Hopkins. Right now, they've got to take some chances. They've got to double up and try to generate a turnover here with 1:24 left.
That's Pressman defensively. And his wrap temporarily creates a loose ball situation. Johns Hopkins picks up the all-important possession. 1:09 remaining. Hopkins needs 2 to send this one into overtime. So you got to look for 2 quick passes. They really don't have the luxury to spin it around the netminder, DeAndrea, as we have less than a minute left in this one. And now Tony Seaman has called a timeout, obviously, to take advantage of this all-important possession. And offensively, Quint, what do you think he's telling his team right now?
You got to get the ball to your go-to guys, Reardon or Picola. Marchant, maybe, if you want to dodge from up top. The question really is Carolina going to come out in a man-to-man defense, or are they going to come out in a zone defense? And I think offensively, you've got to react to that, because you'd have a different play to attack a zone than you would to attack a man-to-man.
Of course, Hopkins hasn't fired long range as we watch. Johns Hopkins with 7 titles, Syracuse 5, and North Carolina 4. This trio of dominant forces in the game of lacrosse. And, of course, North Carolina and Hopkins. You talk about man-to-man or zone. Now, Johns Hopkins hasn't been firing from long range, so perhaps you'll look for North Carolina to pack it in, not caring whether, in fact, Carolina is able to stop the long-range bomb.
Yes, that's probably what's going to happen. They have a hot goaltender right now. I think they'll pack it in tight around him. Rocco DeAndrea's had such a great game. And give Hopkins the outside shot, shot coming from 15 yards. That's one that a goaltender theoretically should save.
So it's not an impossible task that Johns Hopkins is confronted with. 2 goals in 50 seconds, especially with the face-off artistry of Peter Jacobs. So they have a good opportunity to perhaps gain possession. But the first test, of course, is to beat DeAndrea and score the 10th goal. And here's Reardon with 3. Look at the bull. He'll go to the goal and fire it wide.
Good try, Gary! You got it, Gary! You got it!
North Carolina right now playing a box-and-1 defense. You can see Ryan Wade shutting off Terry Reardon behind the net, and the other players are zoning it up in front of the net.
All right, here's Jacobs, and they are packing it in. They're giving him the long-range shot. Jacobs going to have to wind it up, and DeAndrea is able to handle a rather weak bouncing shot. So Hopkins not firing it hard from long range, and now North Carolina certainly in the catbird seat with 25 seconds and counting with a 2-goal advantage. They threw it away. But that loose ball picked up by Wade, the leading point producer, Ryan Wade. Now the clock winding down against Johns Hopkins, 11 seconds remaining. Hopkins now double and triple teaming. Pressman steals with 8 running out of time with 3 and 2. And that's going to be it. North Carolina coming to Baltimore and defeating Johns Hopkins University. The final score in this one, 11-9, as we watch the jubilation out of the field for the Tar Heels.
North Carolina swarming their goaltender, Rocco DeAndrea.
And DeAndrea is certainly the man of the hour for North Carolina. as he has sparkled. And we'll be back to Homewood Field. The final score in this one, North Carolina 11, Johns Hopkins 9.
What can incredible inventions do for you? Please